It's a regular Friday night, the kind where you tell yourself you just need one drink to unwind after another long week. It's a routine so familiar that you barely notice the people around you anymore. That's probably why you didn't see the man approach, not until he sat down beside you. When you finally look over, something hits you. The thinning hair, the tired eyes, and a strange, heavy look. The kind you only see on your own face when you've run out of excuses. He doesn't say a word. He just places something on the bar next to you. A small envelope, plain, ordinary, labeled regret. You open it, expecting a joke, maybe a bad prank. You wish it were. But inside isn't a warning. It's a confession. A quiet map of every mistake you didn't have to make. Every outcome you could have avoided if you had changed just one thing sooner. And as you read it, you already know exactly what that one thing is, don't you? You sit there at the bar, still holding that envelope, and something strange happens. For the first time in a long time, you actually stop. Not the kind of pause where you scroll your phone or pretend to think. A real pause. The kind you avoid because you already know what's waiting in that silence. And that's when it hits you. The worst part of staying the same isn't the life you're living. It's the life you quietly lose in the process. Most people think staying the same is neutral, that doing nothing keeps you exactly where you are. But it doesn't. Doing nothing is a decision with compound interest, just like money. Every day you avoid learning a new skill, your future self pays for it. Every time you delay fixing your habits, your future self pays for it. Every time you promise next month, for sure this time, guess what? Your future self pays for it. Not with money, but with opportunities you never see, confidence you never build, and years that quietly slide out from under you. And that's what the envelope represents. Not a warning, not a threat, but the bill for every moment you thought didn't matter. Because the truth is simple. Staying the same always has a cost. You just don't notice it until the future sends you the invoice. Some people hit a turning point, not because life got worse, but because something finally clicked. Not a dramatic breakdown, not a crisis, just a quiet moment where the truth finally becomes louder than the excuses. Maybe it happens in the middle of washing dishes, or during a late-night scroll when you see someone your age doing what you always said you'd eventually get around to. Maybe it's the way your chest tightens when you realize you're not running out of time. You're running out of chances to use it well. And that's when it hits you. You're not stuck because change is impossible. You're stuck because you haven't practiced change. Because nobody teaches us how to unlearn habits. Nobody trains us to delay gratification or manage impulses or take the smallest step instead of the perfect one. We're taught math, we're taught history, but we're never taught what to do when our own behavior becomes the obstacle. And suddenly, the message from that stranger in the bar makes more sense. You don't need to transform your whole life overnight. You just need to change the one thing that has been quietly steering every decision you make. The way you respond to discomfort, discipline, and long-term thinking. This is the moment you realize that your future self wasn't warning you. He was training you, preparing you for your true potential. The kind of potential that can only be achieved once you finally wake up. However, while waking up to your potential sounds empowering, your brain doesn't see it that way. To your brain, potential isn't inspiring. It's threatening. Because the moment you try to change, you're asking your mind to break a system it believes is keeping you safe. Even if that system is the very thing holding you back. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It loves patterns, even destructive ones, because patterns feel predictable, and predictable feels safe. That's why the second you consider changing one thing, suddenly everything feels harder. The old habits pull you back. The doubts get louder. The excuses sound more reasonable. Your mind starts whispering, maybe next week. You're not ready. What if you fail? Why bother changing something that's good enough? It's not weakness, it's biology. Your brain is terrified of uncertainty, even when the uncertainty leads to a better life. It fights discipline because discipline demands energy. It avoids long-term thinking because long-term thinking requires patience. It clings to the familiar because the familiar has never killed you. And that's the only metric your survival instincts care about. But here's the twist. The same brain that resists change can be trained for it. Not through motivation, not through massive, dramatic life overhauls, but through small, repeatable wins. Proof that the discomfort won't destroy you. Proof that the new path is safe enough to follow. And once your brain believes that, it finally stops dragging you backward and starts walking with you. Because waking up is only the beginning. Rewiring the mind that put you to sleep in the first place is where the real transformation starts. And by the time most people reach this point, the moment where the brain finally stops dragging them backward, they expect the big change to be some complicated formula, a perfect routine, a flawless plan, a brand new identity built overnight. But the truth is almost disappointingly simple. The one change that shifts everything is choosing consistency over intensity. Not the perfect habit, not the perfect timing, not the perfect version of you. Just the decision to do the small thing, the same small thing, long enough for your brain to accept a new reality. Because consistency is the one force your survival instincts can't argue with. It's predictable, it's familiar, it becomes safe. And once something becomes safe, your brain no longer resists it. It reinforces it. That's why the people who succeed aren't superhumans. They're not more gifted. They're not luckier. They simply mastered the only skill that matters. They learned how to show up when showing up still felt pointless. A 10-minute workout, a $20 transfer into savings, one difficult conversation you've been avoiding, 5 minutes of learning instead of scrolling. These tiny choices seem meaningless in the moment, but they are the first cracks in the old system your brain was desperately trying to protect. This is where everything flips. Consistency turns discipline from a punishment into a rhythm. It turns long-term thinking from a burden into a direction. It turns your future self from a fantasy into someone you're actively becoming. And that's the irony. The one thing that shifts your entire life is never the big decision. It's the repeated decision. The quiet, boring, unglamorous choice you make on the days when nothing feels different, yet everything is slowly changing. And when you finally make that one change, the one your future self was begging for, something strange happens. Life doesn't suddenly become easy, but it does become yours again. You stop living on autopilot. You stop bargaining with time. You stop mistaking familiar for safe. And if you could go back to that bar on that cold Friday night, the version of you sitting on that stool wouldn't look so tired anymore, because he wouldn't be waiting for a warning. He'd be creating a future he's no longer afraid to meet. The envelope labeled regret? You don't need it anymore. You've already changed the one thing that changes everything.